Thousands of years ago, a group of sorcerers from the outskirts of China is pursued by Mongolian gangs in desert area. The leader William orders his soldiers to cut loose the horses to entice the scavengers away, giving them the opportunity to flee from the attackers. The soldiers confess that they are mercenaries on the hunt for the enigmatic black powder at night while they are trying to recover from the earlier battle. More than 20 of their men have been lost during the course of their arduous voyage, leaving them with few resources. Only William and his comrade Tovar left after all the warriors have been killed by a thing from the shadow that strikes the party as they are about to retreat. When the animal turns around to attack again, William is able to knock it down and amputate its arm. The two decide to depart right away as their knowledge of what they just killed leaves them. It is clear that the campsite is no longer secure. The following day, they resume their journey, but are soon discovered by the Mongolian once more, causing them to flee for their life as their foes pursue them closely. Both of them show up before the incomparable wall on the edges of China, and is immediately come by a blast of bolts that scarcely misses them. With little decisions left, William chooses to give up to the Chinese as opposed to being caught by the Mongolians, trusting that the previous can save their lives. The authorities of the incomparable wall are stunned to see the monster paw that William has brought with him, and leader Lin requests to know where William has procured it. At the point when they hear the man say that he killed the beast himself, the Chinese leaders chuckle at William jokingly, not accepting a solitary word he said. Notwithstanding, Planner Wang feels that the outsider's accounts might be genuine, as the men's weapons furthermore, clothing is canvassed in the animal's blood. Before they can settle on the two men's destinies, a scout surges in and reports that they have spotted foes from the perception towers, hurrying towards the wall en masse. General Shao orders the armed forces to prepare for the fight to come, and the two men are taken onto the wall, where an enormous multitude of fighters in bright shields reserve for the attack. William is flabbergasted to see the magnificence of the military, as the fighters all work together impeccably notwithstanding their various jobs, which are demonstrated by their protective layers tones. What stands apart from the remainder of the armed force are the fighters in blue, which are driven by Administrator Lin. They all walk towards the edge of the wall and plans to fight by utilizing the monster lances. The officers all stand by without complaining for the foes to come, and their considerations is drawn towards the far distance as a swarm of green beasts charges towards the wall. General Shao orders for the cannons to assault, and various fireballs are tossed very high by the monstrous machines, heading straightforwardly towards the foes and making an ocean of blazes upon influence. The bowmen likewise terminating at the beasts, giving them a torrent of bolts that cover the whole sky, killing a significant number of the animals while they rush in decisively. The beasts thunder angrily as they run towards the monster wall, ultimately coming to the base regardless of the assault of bolts. The ladies in blue guards drop down towards the animals, striking the foes utilizing their lances while the men pull them back up, regardless of their enormous endeavors. A considerable lot of the fighters are killed by the beast as they're eaten alive. The sovereign of the beasts show up in the far distance along with her various guardians, to actually order the fight more. Specialist Wang sees this and tells the general, who arranges the mounted guns to straightforwardly shoot towards the sovereign. In any case, the protectors can hinder the assaults, safeguarding their forerunner all the while. The sovereign thunders angrily towards the people and starts speaking with her cronies, requesting them to change their methodology and utilize their bodies to climb the walls. The beasts can climb the construction and starts destroying the officers, losing them the wall utilizing staggering strength. William attempts to break free with Tovar in the wake of seeing the risks, and amazing, they are delivered by outsider named Ballard who cuts their ropes. A fighter named Peng sees his confidants is killed, and races to go after the animal in spite of his trepidation. However, gets moved back effectively by the Goliath beast. Before the young fellow can be killed by the unquenchable animal, William bounces in the air what's more, takes hold of a lance, charging at the animal and wounds it squarely in the mouth. The beast pushes the man back as it thunders persistently, yet William can cut it with the assistance of Tovar's, and the two kill the animal by piercing its heart. Tovar takes a red cape on the ground and starts drawing in another beast like a bull, causing the animal to charge at the man. In any case, this permits William to kill it utilizing a bolt and scarcely gets away from the dazed animal as it dispatches once and for all. Subsequent to seeing so many of its flunkies killed, the sovereign orders the animals to withdraw by utilizing her sound waves, making the beasts fall back as they convey the groups of their fallen friends away, keeping the people from picking up anything about them. The Chinese leaders approach them after the triumph, and the two men drop their weapons to show their participation. General Shao acclaims their grit for supporting with the fight, and chooses to offer them a living quarter as opposed to securing them. The youthful fighter Peng goes to William just after the attack, and thanks the individual for saving his life as opposed to leaving him for dead. The two additionally meets Ballard, the one who liberated them before, and it just so happens, he was likewise here searching for the black powder a long time back. In any case, has been kept prisoner as an educator of English from that point forward. The elderly person shows the two the baffling dark powder that they were searching for, and guarantees William that there's all that could possibly be needed for every one of them. 3. Ballard recommends that they leave when the attack starts, so they can ride away while the fight seethes. Before their discussion can get done, tactician Wang assembles them for a critical conference as he tracked down a magnet inside their effects. Wang accepts that the stone was the motivation behind why William had the option to kill the beasts so effectively during their most memorable experience, as the magnet might have slowed down the animal's mind. It just so happens, the beasts are called Tao Tais, and they arrived on Earth 20 centuries back from space. Since that day, the animals rise like clockwork to go after from the north of China, attempting to gobble up everything so they can take care of their sovereign to increase. The capital of China has 2 million individuals and is somewhere around 300 miles from the wall. On the off chance that the animals acquire such a lot of sustenances, their numbers would detonate, spreading to each side of the world, simultaneously. General Shao has seen missing staff at the West Pinnacles, and continues to explore close by Leader Lin. The troopers go into their developments, however the men are astounded that the beasts have intentionally left the bodies, rather than gobbling up them as food. The fighters walk advances in the wake of seeing one of the animals before them, yet General Shao sees the impressions of a second Tao Te from behind, attempting to snare the group. The 2 beasts assault them, and the general attempts to fight off the Tao Te from behind, however winds up mortally injured by the animal in the wake of attempting to save Leader Lin. The whole armed force shows up however saving their leader was past the point of no return. With his final gasp, General Shao announces Lin to be his replacement, and cautions her to at absolutely no point in the future misjudge the beast's knowledge. A memorial service is organized as everybody is grieved for their chief's passing, sending various candles flying in the air to light the way for General Shao as he enters eternity. Emissary Shen from the head of China has come to the walls, bringing records of the experiences with the beasts from quite a while back. Obviously, the past broad recorded that the animals became dead and later pursuing the officers onto a mountain, where a magnet is likewise present like William's, to confirm what the magnet really means for the animals. That's what William recommends. They catch a Tao Te by utilizing a snare, like how a whale is caught. However, Tovar is incredibly discontent with his companion's proposed associations, helping him to remember their plan to escape with the black powders. Specialist Wang starts composing a lot of sedatives and putting them on the snares, getting ready to catch one of the animals alive. Tao Tai show up in masses while they attempt to sneak onto the wall. Furthermore, the fighters shield against the beasts by going after in their arrangement. Monster sharp edges distend from the walls and cuts the animals into pieces, while the fighters assault the Tao Te angrily as they battle on the edges of the structure. Lin orders to fire the spears, and the monster snares send off towards the foes, hitting a considerable lot of the beasts and catching them with the chains. In any case, the animals understand individuals' goals to catch them, and starts tearing separated the snares, all breaking liberated from the restrictions with the exception of one. Ballard is attempting to persuade Tovar to leave the wall right now while the fight is set up. Yet the man won't leave his companion. William is examining about forsaking the Chinese armed force, however in the latest possible second, chooses to return and assist the administrators with catching the last Tao Te that is in chains. To detach the animal from the others, the military flames various bombs around the beast, making a field of blazes that encompasses the whole region. Understanding that the chains won't stand the test of time, William drops down into the fields by sliding across the metals and tracking down the beast oblivious on the ground. He ties the animal up with the goal that it can recovered, yet is gone after by threatening adversaries as he attempts to battle for his life. Fortunately, the man is saved from the trap as Tovar appears to the salvage, saving William simultaneously and faulting the individual for not following their arrangements to get away. Their contentions are interfered with when more Tao Tais assault them from the hazes. In any case, the two can kill the animals together by utilizing their cooperation and shooting the beasts in the eyes. As the battle proceeds, the beasts start to sidestep the massive flares and encompasses the men on a huge scale, charging at them. In any case, the Chinese armed force can fire various bombs at the area, killing the Tao Tais with blasts and saving the men's lives. They put the Goliath monster inside an enclosure and starts testing the magnet's consequences for the animal. Shockingly, as Wang approaches the beast close by the stone, the animal quits moving by and large, demonstrating the impacts of the stone. Emissary Chen requests to carry the Tao Te to the ruler immediately, notwithstanding Wang's dissent. However, the request came straightforwardly from the Lord himself. After the emissary leaves the wall, the military distinguished additional developments from the beasts at the foundation of the structure, and starts to explore as the armed forces descend into the base. To their shock, the animals have dug a Goliath opening through the foundation of the wall, utilizing the past fights as just ploys to blindsight the armed forces. In the interim, Ballard and Tovar are taking the black powders and plans to get away from the extraordinary wall as the armed forces are in the middle of researching the beasts. Yet, they're come by William, who believes that his companion should remain and battle for a more prominent cause. Tovar accepts that William is dazed by confidence as he imagines that individuals have no way against the beast's armed forces. While they are contending, Ballard thumps William oblivious, telling Tovar to abandon his companion as this would be their main opportunity to run. General Lin finds that the gathering are attempt run and is angry at William for his selling out, yet William asserting that he attempted to stop his companion. Her resentment is possibly tempered when she hears the youthful champion Peng, who vouches for William as he saw that the man attempting to stop the escapees. She orders to have the backstabbers caught immediately, and secures William in a cell so that he can never again obstruct the military's arrangements. To find the crowds of Tao Tais, Lin chooses to utilize the hot inflatables as a technique for movement, yet the creations are not tried and presents incredible risk for its clients. Various individuals kick the bucket as they attempt to rise into the skies utilizing the dark powders as fills for the vehicles, leaving just a small bunch of warriors heading towards the capital. Peng discharges William before long, and the man races to the outside where he meets Wang, requesting to know what's happening. The specialist lets him know that they have neglected to keep the Tao Tais from penetrating the walls, and the general has requested for his delivery, as she heads towards the capital herself. Wang lets William know that the main way they have now is to kill the sovereign, as her passing would likewise cripple every one of her followers. Rather than leaving like Wang recommended, William chooses to pursue Lin with the goal that they can save humankind from being obliterated. Simultaneously, General Lin has shown up inside the legislative hall, just to see that the spot is overwhelmed by the insatiable animals. They attempt to come to the castle, yet are gone after by various Tao Tais and grounded by the animals while they frantically battle for their lives. Lin is encircled by the beasts as they thunder angrily at the lady. William shows up to her salvage and snatches her high up, involving the projectiles to repulse the beasts as they fly into the castle. They can recover the Tao Tai that was caught before, and Wang chooses to stack the animal with bombs. They intend to go inside the sewers and feed the beast, prior to delivering it towards the sovereign so they get an opportunity to kill her by utilizing the explosives. Nonetheless, their arrangement doesn't go flawlessly as the animals have found their area. What's more, kills most of their group, leaving the youthful hero Peng injured yet alive. Unexpectedly, various Tao Tais race into the underground passages, and Peng chooses to forfeit himself by exploding the explosives, killing the beasts and impeding the pathway also. Not having any opportunity to grieve, Wang rapidly makes the ways for the outside and they discharge the beast that is restricted with bombs. The animal awakens after the magnet was taken out, and very much like they arranged, it begins gobbling up the meat that was given and hurries to the outside, attempting to give it to its sovereign. The three shows up inside a pinnacle, and Wang stays behind to monitor the entryway utilizing the magnet. As William hurries to higher grounds with Lin, attempting to have an unmistakable chance at the bombs, the man dispatches the bolt at the sovereign. However, the guardians can close off as it skips off and detonates in the air, cautioning the beasts simultaneously. William goes up the pinnacle to attempt once more, however the sovereign orders every one of her flunkies to assault the structures, making all the Tao Tais rush inside. As Wang tosses the magnet towards his colleagues prior to being eaten up alive, the man attempts to shoot a subsequent time. However, it was as yet impeded by the animals and the bolt detonates in the air, permitting the sovereign to see her aggressors and orders every one of her flunkies towards them at last. With just a solitary bomb left, the two jumps out from the windows as they swing from the ropes, sidestepping the Tao Tais that leaps towards them from behind. William throws the magnet at the guardians and Lin tosses the lance intently behind, permitting the stone to postpone the developments of the animals as the bomb lands inside the boundary. The sovereign attempts frantically to extinguish the flares, however a huge blast obliterates everything inside, sending every one of the animals flying in the air. As the sovereign kicks the bucket, all the Tao Tais are immobilized and crashes towards the ground, leaving thousands of bodies in the castle as the people are at last successful. In some cases later, William rides back to the incomparable wall, and track down his companion Tovar in the holding cells in the wake of being caught by the Chinese armed force. He lets the man know that the ruler gave him a decision between Tovar's life or the powders. In any case, William decided to save his companion, understanding that fellowship is more significant than any material increases. He heads out into the far distance close by the military's escorts, while General Lin takes a gander at him from the walls to communicate goodbye. William thinks back to before he leaves, and has a positive sentiment that he'll return to this spot from now on. The end. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel and like it to motivate me to bring you more stories like this.